Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, so this is going to be a divine feminine and masculine check-in. We're going to look at the major energies affecting the counterparts and then how each are experiencing that from their side of the energy. On the shuffle, I saw the Emperor and the Ace of Pentacles in this deck with the Empress in the inverse. So the Emperors are still working on something to bring forward to the Empresses, but the Empresses do not see it coming, is what I'm getting from that. So thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through. What can we see for the connection space for the counterparts and how the feminines and the masculines are viewing the energies that are affecting the dynamics at this time. Feminines on the left, masculines on the right. Clarifiers for the feminines. Again, the Judgment card in the inverse, which is you don't see it coming, you don't see it yet, feminines. Interesting, double message. And for the masculines on the right, on my right, and what we need to see here for clarification. Okay, so regarding the connections, do I want to do a spine of fire? I'm going to do connections. So connections right now, the High Priestess and unconditional love. So there's a little bit of non-action while both dive deeper into unconditional love of self and other. What can we see for the feminines? Yeah, they're really working on their happiness. So feminines are done waiting. They're very much taking matters into their own hands, putting in the work, doing what's needed to go towards their ultimate happiness, whether the masculines are in the picture or not. It's self-love, non-action in the connections, but really taking care to put themselves into their destined path. And the masculines, Page of Swords and King of Pentacles. So they are not communicating with the Page of Swords in the inverse like that. It's not talking to others so much about this forward-facing momentum, commitment, King of Pentacles, business opportunities, finances, things that they are navigating right now that they're not telling others. Feminines are staying in their lane, putting in the work, and the masculines have their eye on the prize. So that can also be their High Priestess, their divine feminine, and they're really upping their concept of self-worth, self-love by just buckling down and going towards whatever this King of Pentacles energy is up to. So this can be material realm. I heard assets. I'm hearing a lot of financial terms. So something with the masculine's money is being focused on at this time that has to do with them getting up the courage to take action in the connections eventually. What can we see for the connection space with each other? King of Swords and King of Pentacles in the inverse, another repeat message of not telling anybody what's going on behind the scenes to set the stage for this connection and long-term financial abundance. King of Swords is, again, no communication. Swords are about communication. We've got it twice here. So it's like these plans are not being shared with even the counterparts at this point. What are the feminines looking at? Five of Pentacles and the Star. So both in the inverse, this is a card of separation, being left out in the cold. And the Star, this is like into the future. In the inverse like this, it's an immediate energy, and separation being an illusion. So right now, the feminines are really not feeling separate from their masculine, even though nobody's really communicating about these real world advancements that are happening in both sides of the energy. Both are really focusing on their own finances and legal matters. Feminines are positioning themselves in a receptive, free and clear to pursue position. What are the masculines here? The Hermit and Four of Wands. So they are letting the cat out of the bag a little bit. There are some individuals around the divine masculines that do know they are focused on the union with their feminine, that do want to see, or that the masculines have shared certain plans, intentions, this commitment, this benefit that the masculines have going on in their life, their strategy. They have started taking action that includes additional people. So that can be extended family, that can be friends, that can be legal counsel, anything the masculines have had to connect with aside from themselves that has to do with the foundation that they are laying. Those individuals know little bits about what the masculines have planned. They may not know with this union card in the inverse that it has to do with the masculines preparing for union with their feminine, but they aren't completely in hermit mode about this. There are signs and evidence in the material realm about what the masculines are up to. What can we see on the heart space for both? Eight of Pentacles and the Hermit. So we got the Eight of Pentacles already for the feminines putting in the work, and the Hermit in the same position in the inverse for the masculines. So there's something about the finances, the pentacles, that both are going towards right now that others are aware of. I'm hearing it's coming out of safekeeping. So there are some strategies, heart-based, intuitively guided decisions, projects, opportunities that both counterparts are doing that will take their lives to the next level and put them into alignment with each other. And it's all heart-led here. What do the feminines have going on? Yeah, they're freeing themselves because of this truth. So they are taking action. Eight of Swords can be holding back and feeling trapped and powerless. The feminines are not letting anything hold them back. They are taking legal action, financial action. They are planning. They are doing the things needed to do to sit on their truth with what their heart is guiding them to do, putting in this work. Coming out of hermit mode can also be making steps towards a destined path. The Hermit always looks at the star path of destiny. And so deep within, the feminines are being guided by this North Star, putting in the work towards this knowing, freeing themselves to even take legal and financial action at this time. What are the masculines up to? They're becoming single and surrendering to that process. So they're surrendering to letting go of anything that is not going to go on to the next level with them. That can be beliefs, that can be friend groups, that can be major changes in their lives. They're letting go of all of those things and becoming free entities, sovereign. This is a card of being in our sovereignty, our autonomy. So masculines are surrendering to that process, doing whatever they need to do to be in that sovereign control of their existence. Lord of Prudence. So anything that they can do to take their lives to the next level, they're taking immediate action to do that. What can we see on the heart space for each other? The Empress and Two of Pentacles. So this does speak of making steps, one foot in front of the other, towards abundance. This can also be the divine feminine, the Empress sitting pretty on this throne, but also that the masculines know very clearly who their Empress is. What can we see for the divine feminines? Okay, death and grief we've got here. So there is a major transition, a major ending. Death is a necessary ending. So the feminines are making steps to find their sovereign abundance. They are letting go of past relationships. This can be grieving the loss of loved ones. My heart goes out to anyone who has physically lost a loved one to actual death here. This can be rites of passage, but this can also be relationships ending and karmic relationships ending, finalization once and for all, done with things, done with putting up with false sense of security, really taking the necessary steps towards ultimate abundance here. What about the masculines? Wow, 10 of Pentacles and 8 of Wands. So I just heard the masculines can't help but broadcast how focused they are on long-term success with their Empress. This is my card of telepathic communication. It's also Cupid's love arrows. So this is the 8 of Wands and this long-term legacy abundance. The King of Pentacles, this is like the King of Pentacles personal bank. This is their abundance. So they are sort of energetically putting it out there to their divine feminine's higher self that they are coming, that they are getting their stride with their finances, with their legacy kind of energy. What can we see for the manifestations that the counterparts are being focused on at this time? Ace of Swords, truth, and really counting the blessings. No matter what has happened in the past, there's that card of grief and grieving again. Came out the same position for the feminines, 5 of Cups, and that is about seeing the benefit in all that has happened before without sort of feeling like it was a victim occurrence, like no blame, no victim mentality. The truth of it is all of these things have been beneficial in some way or another to get the timing into alignment for these connections. So this is the truth. There's truth being revealed about why it had to all happen the way that it has. What are the feminines seeing regarding that right now? Oh, they're seeing heart and soul, how much they love their divine masculine. King of Wands, King of Cups. How much love is here, how much passion is here, how much spiritual high frequency energy is here. This is a very emotionally expressive masculine energy with a big broad smile like that. So the feminines know the truth of their divine counterparts' true essence and of their becoming. The feminines have no doubt that the masculines have needed this time, this process to come into this incredible embodiment of their potential. What are the masculines? Judgment and unconditional love. They are seeing the truth that through thick and thin, this was the only true reality here, is that it's unconditional love, that they are truly and utterly loved by their feminine. What can we see for the actions that both are taking at this time? 3 of Swords in the reverse and 7 of Pentacles. So it's just a matter of time until the heartache is fully healed here. Both have invested a lot into righting the wrongs of past relationships, figuring out who they each are, and really looking at the essence of what causes heartache and seeing that they've been investing their highest and best into these connections. So again, these are not karmic connections where there's any kind of abuse or direct malice or negativity or that kind of thing. These are for aligned, very compassionate, love-based connections that I'm channeling for here. If that's not the connection that you have, this is a message to encourage you that these sorts of things are out there and to model that. But what are the feminines seeing here? Ooh, the Star in Judgment. So it goes hand in hand. As the feminines learn what causes the heartache, they overcome it. They haven't seen it all. They don't know all the answers. They're living it in real time. The revelation is happening now, but they're seeing that as they continue with this process, the connection still keeps developing and the heartache is released more and more. What are the masculines seeing here? They're still looking at strength regarding the distance, emotional, mental, physical distance. In some regard, they're having to be strong right now. This is often the masculine's cross to bear, is to not come forward to the feminines prematurely before everything is really set and balanced and appropriate. And so there's a little bit of a wait period for the masculines. So feminines, I'm getting that the feminines can speed it up by intentionally meditating and praying to be shown. Remembering to ask, what is this stage of my journey for? What are the deeper lessons that are being seen for what they are right now? How is the heartache being released? Where is the forgiveness? What are the aha moments? What is a foundation I can be working on at this time? What is the biggest challenge for the counterparts? Wow, the World and the Empress is really rising up from the worldly templates and focusing on this very positive abundance frequency. What are the feminines doing here? The inner work to stay the course, to stay stable, to stay consistent. A lot of times the feminines are pointing the finger at the masculines, saying they're hot and cold, in and out, back and forth. But this is saying, feminines, that you're meant to be stabilizing right now by really making wholehearted decisions based on truth, so that you position yourself sovereign, autonomously, to the best that you possibly can. That means not investing in anything that is of weak energy or a faulty foundation, that you're really looking at your discernment internally. Every moment counts, every decision, every thought, doing energetic hygiene, making sure that you're thinking in productive ways, in growth-based ways, that you're thinking, you're not ignoring red flags, that you're really taking care of number one, that you're not jumping into anything that doesn't feel right to you. What else can we see for the masculines? King of Cups and Wheel of Fortune. So masculines are waiting for an opportunity to spill their beans, to speak about their emotions, to offer the Empress their emotional truth. They're looking for divinely guided. This is the challenge, that the masculines are maybe at a distance, that the feminines are kind of like a little bit either preoccupied, or there could be a little bit of a cold shoulder here based on what has happened in the past, or it could just be that they don't have time right now to hear the masculines out, now that the masculines would like to. So there's some busyness in the energy, but the masculines just wondering and wanting to be alert to when that timing is going to be there to really tell the feminines how they feel. And this says the great one of the nighttime. So masculines are very heavily thinking about this at nighttime. This is the challenge, how to approach. That's not going to be off-putting to the feminines as well. So they're waiting for divine timing to guide, because they don't feel like they have the awareness to communicate the way they would like to. So masculines, you may be feeling overly emotional in some ways, or you may really desire to be talking specifically to your feminine right now. This is saying wait for divine timing, so that your feminine is in the most receptive mode, so that it's extra special. I just heard. What is the solution to this challenge? Wow, Justice and Six of Pentacles, which is the minor arcana, justice, with the balance of scales. So it's not quite justified yet to fully leave the limitations of the world. That just means that both counterparts have material realm factors that need priority at this very moment, but that it will be justified in time. There is a changeover. This Six of Pentacles is usually someone giving to one outlet, but then the other one isn't able to get what they need. It can also be a charitable card, or a switching over from giving into one situation to giving into a situation that's more beneficial, warranted. Another message I'm getting here is that if you still do have commitments or obligations or unfinished business that you are having to contribute to at this time, do it with a glad heart, but continue to seek ways to balance that out, so that if it's truly not justified for those things to be taking priority, that you find the way to make space and available so you can go in the direction that you want to, counterparts. What is the feminines? Yeah, there's a major internal tower about what the feminines need to be doing in order to bring in this reunion. So feminines, there's something that you need to do in real time to shift your ability to focus on your connection with your masculine. There are still things that you have to tidy up and finalize before you're fully able to do that. And what are the masculines getting? Oh, the Six of Pentacles and the Star. So right now you've got to give to yourself also, masculines, before you can access this connection in all of its entirety. What is the direction in the near future? Four of Swords and the Lovers. So resting, meditating, really being shown this higher love coming in, using it as a motivator, as a blessing on the horizon to go towards, allowing it to sink in, to integrate, even before it's a full-fledged way of life. So getting the downloads, getting the inspiration, getting that guidance, and making the steps you're guided to make. Feminines, without even needing to know what your masculine has going on or what is best for them, you're really being asked to look at what is the most beneficial, what makes the most sense for you. First and foremost, if it's good for you, it's good for your truly aligned one. It's good for your aligned connection. And so right now, it's not about like forgetting what the masculine's aspects would be, but really looking at what's best for you. Without question right now, between you and higher guidance, you alone know your situation. And for the masculines, okay, there are some karmic influences around the masculines. There's this damsel in distress. So sometimes I get this card to mean that the because there is a feminine here, I'm taking this that the masculines need to basically pave the way for this connection with the feminine, that there are people, places, things going on that the feminine needs to see you ground this higher love and solve some kind of problem here that the feminine is entwined in. And it has to do with people around you or your feminine right now, that your feminine's hands are tied, and it's your accountability, your responsibility to deal with whatever these energies are, masculines, and doing it with integrity and compassion is the way to do it. So as you work on this mission, there seems to be some sort of clearing that is a pre-qualification for you to ground this higher love and to show your feminine who you are. There's protection and wisdom and action in these cards for you to be taking on behalf of this love. It's not necessarily fighting for it, but it is a chivalrous kind of energy I'm getting here, masculines. Yeah, okay. Many blessings, everyone. I think I am going to leave it here. Bye for now.